Once again, we're at the end of the Storm European Finals, day number 1, and Tomb of the Spider Queen is the first map between Google and the Sandwich Monkeys. So, Thrall currently taken. Keep in mind, Li Ming is actually allowed. The only hero that is banned today because of a bug with his hook that can cause lag in custom games is Stitches. Li Ming banned out by the Sandwich Monkeys. Apparently, nobody really wants to play against her. At least so far, she has been banned out in every single game. That allows Zagara, though, to be taken. So Google could go into a Rhaegar or into a Zagara. Both of the heroes very, very strong. Rhaegar it is for them, and that makes it very likely that the Sandwich Monkeys are going to counter, at least with the Zagara here early on. The control that you get with the hero, especially on the bot lane, is of course incredibly powerful. One of the things that they could definitely do and should do at this point. The Sandwich Monkeys, they had a bit of a rough time. At the Spring Championship qualifier, the last chance qualifier that we saw at the weekend, they did not qualify for the Spring Championship finals in Katowice. So there's a lot of rumors about the team maybe even disbanding, the players going separate ways. But right now, here at the end of the Storm finals, we still see them play together. And of course, the results of the tournament are probably also going to influence the outcome of those discussions quite a bit. Then again, it's only rumors that we hear right now, and those are pretty common if you don't qualify for a major tournament. But like here we are at the end of the Storm finals, there's a lot of money on the line, and of course they want to take that. So the Sandwich Monkeys, they decide to go for that Zagara that I already pointed out. They add Jaina, which has been buffed over Khaldor. So right now we see a lot of teams start to prefer Jaina over the Fire Mage. We have in this case like burst damage potential after a decent more. And Google, they could now go, I mean, they have a couple of options how to play this. They can play with the Sonya here, for example. They can still go into a Khaldor if they want to. Tomb of the Spider Queen is a decent map for him. If they want to go into like a melee assassin style Sonya and go really deep with her, the combination with Tacita is also an opportunity or an option for them, because Zagara on the other side of the draft is a hero that, well, of course doesn't really mix well with Tacita, since he has like very nice vision, and especially that Oracle can take down a lot of the creep tumors, so that's one of the things to consider here. But Google has like a ton of options. You could go into an early ETC here, for example, right now. So with more and more heroes being added and being viable in the draft, it's really crazy to see like how these drafts are suddenly starting to shape up. And an early Greymane is of course also an option. One of the cool things about Greymane in particular is that you have a ton of siege damage. Like if you go for the cocktail build, he had a problem of course with his perfect aim on level 1, but that bug was already fixed in one of the recent patches. And Greymane right now with nice siege damage, definitely one of those high damage heroes that we have out there. Sonya still banned out because the Sandwich Monkeys, they know of course that Sonya would be a great addition to that Rhaegar and for the lineup of Google. As I said already before, I could have even seen the Sonya already being picked, but the Sandwich Monkeys, they are just saying like, yeah, Sonya would work really well with their setup, so let's ban her out for now just to be on the safe side. We don't want to go up against that. Google, what can they ban out? I mean, like, they have to think about, of course, like, maybe a ban on an ETC even. So, ETC Diablo, that would be like the tanks that the Sandwich Monkeys are probably looking at right now if they want to combo something over the Zagara's Maw and Jaina's burst damage. So, it's all about, like, that burst that Jaina can really deliver. You want to look at that and then think about what you can ban out there. Another option is Tacita, since it's a hero that the Sandwich Monkeys really like to play with. It's also, of course, a nice addition to Zagara, since you have even more vision on the map. And it looks like Tacita is actually going to be the ban for them. So it's a mix between a target ban and actually like a ban that makes a lot of sense, but they could have banned either ETC or Diablo. Pretty sure that Sandwich Monkeys are at least going to lock one of these two down so that they have some combo potential with Zagara. And there's ETC already. They could add that Diablo too, keep that in mind. They still need a support. They have some damage on Jaina. They have some damage on Zagara. A Diablo would also deliver a fair amount of damage then as well. And you can always use that more into Apocalypse as a good setup for Jaina and burst the target down. But first of all, they are going into the healer, and that is in this case a Karazim. So they still have a lot of options here. They can wait for Google to make their move, and then they can go into that Diablo, or they can decide that they just want to have more damage. And nice, we see Cho'Gall being played. Cho'Gall is being played. The Leoric pick earlier on to deny it also to the Sandwich Monkeys, and it is Cho'Gall time, ladies. Once again, we're seeing Cho'Gall in play, and this time it is the Russian team playing them. Insanity, so far on the European server, the team that played the hero the most, but right now we are going to have that being played by the Google team. And for the Sandwich Monkeys, that starts to change things, of course, a little bit. Like, what do you pick at this point? What do you go for? Do you have another hero that can really, like, get maybe a bit of extra damage against high hit point heroes in? Seasoned Marksman, for example, would be great right now. And that's, do you pick a false stat? Do you play ETC really as a solo tank and pick a false stat then into this so that you have the auto attack damage against Cho'Gall? Because right now, Cho'Gall is looking incredible with this setup. He's looking extremely strong. How do you take that bad boy down? It's not not going to be easy at all. And that rotation between mid and top is going to be brutal with Cho'Gall in the mix. They can use that charism, of course, for the 7-sided strike. That definitely helps. But is it really enough? Especially, of course, when other heroes are also like moving in. Can you isolate Cho'Gall enough so that charism gets the entire duration of the 7-sided strike off against Cho'Gall himself? And at this point, it really feels a little bit off. They need to either like choose a tank right now, or they really need to commit and say like, okay, we need another auto attack damage dealer that is able to get like the extra damage with the Seasoned Marksman plus the combo with Giant Killer here. False stats, for example, would have been an option. Reyna would have been an option. They decide in favor of Sylvanas with a silence here, and that is going to be this is an interesting choice actually for them. I'm really wondering how that is going to work out for them. But yeah, we have Cho'Gall in play once again. The Sandwich Monkeys, they are up against Google lineup here, and this is going to be a fun one. Of course, there's also a lot of pressure on Greymane now. We all know that Gall can push out incredible damage, but Greymane, he definitely has to do his fair share, especially with the siege damage right now. Game number 1, everybody. We are in the round of 8 of the winner bracket. Google going up against the Sandwich Monkeys. Let's find out which team is going to take it. Game number 1 at the end of the Storm European Finals. We are currently in the winner bracket in the round of 8, and we have the Sandwich Monkeys going up against Team Google looking for an umbrella. And they are starting to the left side with Stalk on Leoric, Unstable on Rhaegar, Undilendi on Greymane, and the hero that we've all been waiting for, Styr on Cho, and Sphyxy on Gall. To the right side of the map, the Sandwich Monkeys with ADRD on Zagara, BKB on ETC, Zarmony on Jaina. The last pick in the draft was Red X for Sylvanas, and we have Sport Billy on Charism. A very interesting scenario here now overall, not only because we have a Cho'Gall in play, but also because one of the players that played in the past for Team Sandwich Monkeys was actually Styr, and he was picked away from Google looking for an umbrella. So this is a little bit of a grudge match as well. I'm not going to try to pronounce that here, by the way. That's Sphyxy. That's like the weirdest Cho'Gall name that I've ever seen. But yeah, Cho'Gall here, of course, like a pretty great addition in the setup that we see for Team Google. And they are looking very strong with this already. We're going to talk about the talents in a moment. The one thing that I want to point out again is that the counter pick, so to say, was actually Sylvanas, which is a little bit surprising. Like, they could have gone into a second warrior. And with Stitches being banned out, one of the good picks against Cho'Gall was definitely a Nuborak going into a Cocoon, so that you can actually just simply Web Blast or Cocoon Cho'Gall when you go into the fight, and then try to take it from there, burst the target down in a 5 versus 3 before Cho'Gall is back to business. In this case now, though, they decided to go for Sylvanas, and that of course means that they have now a massive amount of siege power thanks to Sylvanas and Zagara. So the idea here has to be to just like try to zerg the opponent down, just like completely push against them the entire time and make sure that there's no opportunity for Google to really get momentum in this game. And if they get pushed the entire time, then of course you can maybe like snowball it a little bit, get that level 10 early, get another Web Weaver wave in, and then take it from there. So that has kind of to be the game plan right now for the Sandwich Monkeys with that Sylvanas pick. They're not trying to particularly counter Cho'Gall, they're just like trying to zerg down the opponent with a lot of siege damage. They have of course also a fair amount of Jaina there herself with the Blizzard, and that seems to be currently the game plan for them. That being said, with the talents now, we have on level 1 the Blazing Bulwark once again, taken here currently for Gall. Pretty normal actually to see that. For Cho at the same time now, the Eye of Kilrock that has been claimed here. Then Zarmony in a little bit of trouble. Keep in mind that of course we have still like a situation where we have a slight rivalry between these two teams for the reasons that I pointed out a bit earlier. But also we have one of them qualified for Katowice, and that is actually like the Google team. Team Google is qualified for the Spring Championship Finals, whereas the Sandwich Monkeys were not able to make it through the last chance qualifier. They have the level 4 talent a little bit earlier. Zagara has taken the top lane in this case. Actually, it's rotating a little bit. It was earlier down to the bottom. Yeah, well, our Cho'Gall is currently rushing away here in a bit of trouble. Electric Charge is now taken as well. In this case, doesn't really make any sense to necessarily go straight into that Lightning Bond, but the Electric Charge for Cho'Gall is of course quite nice. Rollback now taken here as well, and we're seeing the Runic Persistence taken now as well. So just like going for those poke talents, and you can just like poke with Cho'Gall like 6 days to Sunday if you do it right. Like the damage output on Gall in particular is of course absolutely incredible. We're looking now into the middle lane, and we have Red X here currently apparently just like subbing in. They also have again the go for ADRD, and he's very low. Here comes Cho'Gall, nearly the kill, but ADRD gets away, and now it's time for Greymane to maybe fall. Undilendi eliminated, Great move here by the Sandwich Monkeys. They go in and get the kill. Well played here. Snowstorm taken on Jaina as the level 4 talent. We're seeing Karazim also with a healing ward. Besides that, we have after perfect aim of the draft overflow taken for Greymane. So once again, the full cocktail build for the Worgen, for the Wolf here. And already a slight lead for the Sandwich Monkeys. And keep in mind what I said earlier, they really just try to get a massive amount of siege damage in now, burst these waves down, have the wave clear, and control the map, get the web weavers, turn in after turn in, and then just snowball it from there. And as long as they can get the early kills, that's exactly what's going to happen here. So the opponents need to be a little bit careful. Turn-in attempts have so far been denied by the team in red, and the Sandwich Monkeys are doing fairly well, turning in the objectives on their own. They're already at 43 turned-in gems, and there's the web weavers now descending. So at this point, their plan is working quite well. Cho'Gall not really having that impact yet that we're hoping for. That's going to happen later on in the game, but it could already be too late at that point. Picking Leoric early here by Stork, that was of course also a smart move to deny it as a counter pick. And in this case, there was not really too much available anymore. As I said, an Uberak would have been like one of the options. Giant Killer Heroes, another one, but they didn't take any of these. Now we have still here, Cho'Gall at the bot lane. Attempting to push this back, but they don't have the level 7 talent just yet. More lane sustain even for ADRD. It's his preferred talent on Zagara for level 7, even on this map, not going into the perfect or the endless creep. Now once again, they're starting to like move through the bot lane. There's of course like web weavers on all of the other lanes as well, but if you push with Sylvanas, then you are in an absolutely fantastic position and can just use that Shadow Dagger the entire time. Unstable Poison is of course going to add to that additional damage output here against minions and mercenaries. Now, once more, we have Cho'Gall in a bit of trouble. Leoric has also to move away. Sport Billy already on the chase. Everybody is starting to dash in here. And the bot lane is still being attacked. We have the Shadow Dagger talent taken on level 1, going into the cooldown reduction here. And of course works as well, the Lost Soul. And besides that, we have the mid lane, again unstable, moving back here. He of course needed to make sure that he's not being caught by that rotation that we saw from the red team, from the bot to the middle after they realized they couldn't take down the fort after all. They're still slightly ahead, but not by too much. And as long as the Google does not lose their gems and is able to turn them in, it's going to be all good. Power Surge has already been taken here as the level 7 talent. So after the Blazing Bulwark, we went straight into the rollback and the Power Surge. We have now also Double Trouble taken. And that cooldown reduction can of course give you even more damage output. It's all about the poke really, like you dash in with Cho'Gall, you poke as much as you can, and just that sometimes seemingly random damage as well, which is absolutely strong. Like here once again getting the siege damage out, and I mean just to get an early glimpse already at the damage numbers, we're currently seeing Gall already at 10,000 damage. Cho is currently just like tanking whatever he can, but the damage output here of Greymane and Gall, also when it comes to siege damage, is of course pretty incredible. Then again, when we're looking at heroes like Jaina and also Sylvanas, they're not looking too bad either, and that's of course like the whole idea of that draft that we see for the Sandwich Monkeys, so they are going to try to just like keep exactly that going. The top lane still being pushed back, and Dilendi is currently, or Unstable is currently here. Red X and ADRD, that's Zagara Sylvanas combo once again bursting another wave away, and the turn-in attempt in the middle of the map. So you can really see the problem here already. It's really tricky now with only 4 bodies on the map to turn in for the team in blue. Whenever they start a rotation, there's always someone from the Sandwich Monkeys denying that whenever they can, and that's exactly what's happening here time after time. So turning in is incredibly difficult now for Google, whereas the Sandwich Monkeys are about to get their second turn-in, and they have the level 10 abilities right now, so that should secure the turn-in. They already move up to the top with Zarmony, and if Zarmony turns those few gems in, then they have that Web Weaver wave completed. Doesn't even try to. Like now he's starting to finally move in. They have the 7-sided strike now. Silence, Ring of Frost, more Mosh Pit have also been chosen. And in the same side, we are now seeing once again the Shadow Bolt volley. Upheaval already being used here. 7-sided strike in play. Didn't really do too much. The Maw is also in play here. ADRD. Here comes the Ring of Frost. They go for Sport Billy. He dashes away. The fight looking pretty good, or looked good for a second here for Team Google, but now that Mosh Pit is locking down Stork, he dies. They pick the gems out, at least most of them. Unstable had to go in again and might fall because of it. He was trying to get the gems, and now he's losing everything. 2 heroes down, 3 kills against 0. The Sandwich Monkeys, they start to move through the map now with another Web Weaver wave. It's looking good for them. they can push now really heavily, and they have everything that they need. Zagara for the pushing power. They also have, of course, still Sylvanas disabling the structures one after another, pushing the Shadow Dagger out. The mid lane fort already eliminated, and now the rotation up to the top and the bottom. Bottom lane is going to fall either way. I mean, this fort here doesn't stand a chance against the Web Weaver. Sport Billy is in, and it's just making sure that there's nothing happening, but we have at the same time now also Jaina to the top lane, trying to burst these waves down. They are looking at a ETC actually taken down, but Sport Billy also low, dashes away. ADRD a bit too far out, does not have the more to save himself, and Zone in. Yeah, he's gonna fall eventually. Was trying to go for the rapid incubation here, but that's the kill against him. Yeah, that is actually like a bit of a problem here. A slight misplay on the side of the Sandwich Monkeys, playing a bit too greedy, overstaying their welcome, and now losing a few of their heroes and also gems. That was of course not planned, but they took down 3 forts. They find themselves in a very solid lead. Level 11 versus level 12, nearly level 13, but of course they still have to be careful. We currently have 56 gems, 57 still on the side of Team Google. They lost a fair amount. They lost actually like a lot of gems when they lost the 2 heroes, especially like Leoric, for example. He held 20 gems on his own that he all lost, but now if they can turn in again, that of course would at least help them a little bit here. The level 13 talent is going to make that quite difficult, and level 13 is now ready for the Sandwich Monkeys, and the Sandwich Monkeys are just trying to push this even more. Against all that damage that Gal is pushing out, we are now seeing them with a level 10 ability, or sorry, the level 13 ability, straight going into a spell shield for Sylvanas. We are also having groupies. We see Mutalisk now taken, and we have the improved Ice Block as well. Interestingly enough, we don't have a talent yet on Karazim, who usually goes into Relentless on this talent. Not really too much lockdown where you necessarily have to go for Relentless, and he seems to agree. Spell Shield is there for the variation of Sport Billy, acknowledging especially that damage output that we see from Greymane and from Gal. And once again, just to give you a bit of a glimpse, oh, there comes the move against Stork, and again he's down, losing the gems, but Unstable is collecting them. Gal, of course, here now with that double trouble into Shallow Bolt Volley that we've already seen during those fights. The upheaval earlier actually nearly initiating a win for Google, but still Cho was not able to really dish out as much as he wanted to get as many of them locked down. Now the damage output, look at that siege damage of Gal. 93,000 already, more than Jaina and Sylvanas, both of them roughly around 70 to 80,000, but still very solid of course. The level 13 talents are now available for Team Google as well. For Cho, we have Molten Core. For Gal, it's the Dread Shield. So that's a lot more sustain that Cho'Gall is now finally having. And Cho'Gall has 44 of these gems, by the way. But they can still not turn in. They're trying to, but it doesn't really work out for them. The extra shield now, and the Earth Shield is of course an amazing talent for Rhaegar if you are playing with a Cho'Gall. Then you can get so much value out of that. We're seeing Running Wild taken here for the increased range on your disengage and engage here. And we also have now the Crushing Hope taken. So that being said, already we're again Sphyxy under a little bit of pressure, but well, Cho'Gall should be able to easily get away from this one. And he's already moving out down to the bot lane. Stork is trying to get a few more of the gems for himself. Blue Web Weavers finally descending after Unstable could turn in at the top, so they were able to sneak a few in. Yeah, well, that's maybe exactly what they needed. If they can take a few of the structures down, it would be great. There's still a camp taken at the bot lane, and those 2 mercenaries will, of course, make it a bit harder for the Web Weavers to really get anything done here. In total, we have 2 kills against 4 now overall. Now with the Blue Web Weavers now once again starting to move in. Let's find out how exactly this is going to work here. We're having in the mid lane here, as you can see right now, the move and the attempt to just like go maybe for an early kill as the Web Weavers start to push in. There's already Cho'Gall in position. They're having also now, nice, the lockdown with the Entomb against Sport Billy, but Red X jumps out, Upheaval being used. Interesting combo here with the Upheaval as a follow-up or the Entomb, but it didn't really work out for them. They could not get a kill in, but they are buying some time for the Web Weaver at the bot lane to get more damage in, and that's exactly what the Web Weaver here is currently doing. But in regards to like finishing a kill off, that's where they are really starting to struggle a little bit. 52 of those gems, by the way, still on Cho'Gall. He really needs to make sure that he can turn in soon. And they get the fort, they get some experience, but they're still a level behind now. And yeah, Cho'Gall already on the move back. Needs to be careful here. Andelendi is joining the team. It's going to be a 5 versus 5 once again. Stork, does he have the Wraith Walk ready? Doesn't really look like it. Stork is... No, he doesn't. He's sacrificing himself here and the gems that he holds. Not too many as is, but still had to move away there. So in this case, once again, the move around, we're seeing them starting to move up to the top. And of course, the attempt to turn in here, especially Cho'Gall, needs to try and get these gems away. But he waits a bit too long, is trying to buy maybe time. Nah, not quite. Couldn't turn in yet. 16 talents now against them, and with the 16 talents we're having now, of course, speed metal taken. After the lost soul on level 1, we are seeing now Cold Embrace for Sylvanas. Makes, of course, a whole lot of sense to combo those 2 talents off again. And the Circle of Life has been taken, plus the Northern Exposure and the Boot expansion. A whole lot of damage talents now on the side of them. Red Web Weavers descending again, and you can already tell where this is going. Like from the beginning, I've already said that the entire idea of the Sandwich Monkeys really is to pressure, to wave clear, and to make sure that they get that done. And that's happening once again. Unstable, also isolated, and that's of course the worst case scenario. 1 hero down, the Web Weavers coming into play, and now it's a 4 versus 5 with 13 against 16 talents from the point of view of Google. And they are really in trouble right now. I mean, they are really in trouble at this point. The Web Weavers are coming in, and this is looking horrible for them. They're at least going to lose a keep. Most likely they're not, well, they could lose more in the middle, I suppose, but over here there's just no chance that they can save this keep. The Web Weavers alone are going to take that down with the help of Sylvanas, and that's exactly what we're currently seeing here. They will get level 16 thanks to Leoric soaking some experience at the bottom of the map. And the mid lane has been defended against so far by Andilendi in Worgen form, so at least that worked for them. So they were able to defend against the Web Weavers, against most of it, but of course, as already mentioned, 1 keep is already fallen. Gal going into the Twilight Vale now. So is like a lot of that stuff is really at this point also about survivability for the hero. Trying to make sure that you have a couple of talents with the Dread Shield, for example, that keeps you alive a little bit longer. The Twilight Nova is now being taken as well. So now you have that extra damage. A lot of random damage there as well too, but of course it's really annoying. And it's also pushing out siege damage as well for Cho'Gall. Oh, the Mosh Pit! Molten Core has been chosen, has been used here. Here comes immediately the 7-sided strike. BKB is down. Maybe now the opportunity for Google to make a play there, trying to go for Karazim. He dashes away. Sport Billy is dead though, and it is Upheaval again that pushes in Zagara. She's being pulled in, and ADRD is falling. It's a triple kill. And Google all of a sudden starting to make some waves here. They're really low on their heroes, but that at least was able to help them. So now we have 5 kills against 6. They lost the first keep. It was a very dominant game actually by the Sandwich Monkeys so far, especially of course with all that pressure that they were able to execute on lanes. But now they're starting to lose a few of these fights, especially when we're looking at a hero like Cho'Gall. He has now the survivability that he really needs. Looking at the numbers as well, 140,000 siege damage already for Gal, 52,000 hero damage, and he leads in both categories at this point. When we're looking at Sylvanas, we have her at 126,000 siege damage, 120,000 for Jaina, but in hero damage, nobody's even getting close to Gal. Like, he's really putting the numbers on the board now, and also had an opportunity to finally turn his gems in, which of course helps him as well. And they are trying to make sure that they at least kill a few of these forts now, and they should be able to do that. It's exactly what they're attempting to. 18 versus 18, the talents, just as a side note. So if they take down a few of those structures, that would be absolutely amazing for them. Once again, the wound bombs everywhere, and the fort is indeed down. Here comes... Ah, nice. The attempt with the Entomb was actually like nice, but the dash on Sport Bile, that was definitely a great play here for him. Jumping away just before he can get locked down by anybody. So that was really well done. Good idea though, like really nice attempt for Stork here, just hitting the wrong hero. He was trying to trap 2, did only hit 1 of them. Webweave at the bot lane is still active, and Cho'Gall still poking a little bit with those rune bombs the entire time here. And once again, also trying to go for the bolt here. Could go for his ult as well. Ults are up. Here comes the engage. And they're starting to move in. Sport Billy dashed back again, but BKB is locking them down. Ancestral Healing keeping Cho'Gall alive. Windwalk on, not Windwalk, Wraithwalk on Leoric. Windwalk would be a bit weird. Oh, Sport Billy going really deep for the 7-sided strike. Shadow Bolt volley is already out. Oh, but the lockdown, nice combo. Oh my god, what a beautiful mosh pit after this Maw and Ring of Frost. Well played here, nice wombo combo and a great double kill. They're trying to go for Stork, who himself is attempting to take down BKB, but so far ETC survives. Stork falls, they can get all of those turn-ins now. They have the gems, they have nearly enough for a second round or for another round of Web Weavers, but this is looking very good for them again. It's really a back and forth at this point, like the entire time, all of those fights, back and forth. We have Cho'Gall trying to do whatever he can, moving in, dashing away, but of course if you lose great Greymane. If you lose Rhaegar, then you just can't do anything anymore. And the wombo combo that we just saw there was just beautiful. Cho'Gall falling as well is a disaster for the team in blue. They are going to lose the boss now as well. The level 20 talents are also in play. We have Transgression taken, a triple Bolt of the Storm. That's of course perfect. Upheaval should not be able to do anything anymore, and then Entomb neither. Like, if you entomb any hero now, every single one of them, with the exception of ETC, has now an escape mechanism that he can use, so all of them can just dash away whenever they want to. Very well played. And like this, one wombo combo is all that you need to turn that game on its head once again. So they try to end right now. They move to the top. Cho'Gall is dead for another 20 seconds, and that's going to help them to go at least through the shield. We are seeing the Sandwich Monkeys trying to go for the kill here. Great game played so far. 11 kills against 5. Nice move with the Ancestral Healing here. Barely able to keep Leoric alive. Stalk, on the other hand, is now low, and they have to move back. Transgression used. Stalk is eating the damage. Stalk is down. Stalk is dead. Unstable as well. And this, ladies and gentlemen, of course, is going to be game. The boss alone is going to finish this. The Maw against Cho'Gall is sealing the deal, and they are going in for the core now. And this is it. The Sandwich Monkeys, they're taking game number 1 against Google. GG and well played. Great first game in this best of 3 series at the end of the Storm Finals. Game number 2 on Infernal Shrines. Google going up against the Sandwich Monkeys. Again, Stitches is currently banned today because there's a little bit of a bug that can cause lags in custom games on his hook. We have the Sandwich Monkeys with a Leoric ban, and Leoric bans usually already indicate that one of the teams wants to go for a Cho'Gall. So after we've seen Cho'Gall in the last game fail a little bit against the Sandwich Monkeys, we could actually see him again. Like, an early ban against Leoric usually indicates that. And keep in mind that, of course, in this case, we have also Li Ming still around. We are expecting Google to maybe even ban her out here once more. But that would be quite interesting if now Sandwich Monkeys ban out. Nah, okay, they switch it around. They switch it around. I've seen a couple of Leoric bans, actually, by teams that wanted to go for Cho'Gall. Bans on Thrall, bans on Li Ming as well. And yep, in this case, Rhaegar first pick. So far, everything pretty much the norm, pretty much as you would expect. Could have seen, instead of Thrall, a ban on Zagara, I suppose. It's very likely that Google is going to pick Zagara for the vision on the map. Greymane as a damage dealer, we have seen him already fought over a little bit in the previous matches today. So it would be a very good early lockdown for Google as well, no questions asked. But still, having that Zagara for the vision on the map, that's of course one of those things that a lot of the teams value very highly. Especially if you have decent creep spread and you go into the endless creep, then you can make sure that you have nice vision around the objective on the map itself. And that will give you a good opportunity to just like maybe engage from the side, get a good angle for your attack, and then get a little bit of an opportunity there. Greymane not confirmed yet, so they're thinking about Greymane. But they start to switch over to Jaina. Both of those heroes are fine. Jaina more the bursty type, whereas with Greymane we have a lot of siege damage as well. And whoa, they let Zagara go too. With Tazada, they have a good hero against Zagara as well. Keep that in mind. I mean, creep tumors can be detected by the Oracle, of course, and then taken down. But that's an interesting start into the draft here for Google. So they actually like let a couple of the heroes that we oftentimes see taken early completely slide, and they are saying like, hey, we are going to take Jaina for the burst damage. We have Tazada, which is a great start into our support setup. And at the same time, we also have a bit of a counterplay against the Zagara that you are probably going to take right now. The Sandwich Monkeys, they have the opportunity now to pick Zagara up. And Zagara, for the reasons that I mentioned, is very, very solid here. But you have to be comfortable enough that you go up against Tazada, who will reveal a lot of your creep tumors, and then, of course, try to take them down and like limit your vision on the map and therefore your map control. But the Sandwich Monkeys, they love to play Zagara. They play it usually on AD/RD. They like these wombo combos with a Diablo, with an ETC, with a Thrall as well, even though in this case, of course, he is banned out. But I would definitely like to see a Zagara on the side of the Sandwich Monkeys. And then they can think about maybe getting that ETC into play, unless they want to prioritize that damage first. And that's actually what they do. They prioritize the damage first with a 4-stat pick. There's still the opportunity to go into that gray main. Kelthas, of course, is also still around, but the teams have started to favor Jaina quite highly. Actually, today, I don't really think that we have seen a Kelthas today. Blizzard, of course, tweaked a little bit on a few of his talents, especially when we're looking at his gravity lapse. That's one of the talents where they reduced the stun duration from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. And we also had a bit of a change to the Arcane Barrier, which does now only 150% of shield instead of 200%. Johanna taken for the front line. No Muradin. Johanna, of course, in a position where she can get more siege damage out. And if you go for that Night Tick spawn, if you go for the Condemn build overall, siege minion or the wave clear on lane is great, but it's also the pressure that you have on the shrines when you're fighting for the objective. With Rhaegar, I personally really prefer on Infernal Shrines to go for the Lightning Bond on this map, unless you go for like a heavy melee assassin that jumps into the backline. Sonya could be that. She could also be banned out. Actually, right now I would rather expect Sandwich Monkeys to ban Sonya out, since TSaM is already available for Google. There's the ban on Gal, potentially. Nah, they ban out Zagara. At least that's what it looks like. Cho'Gall is like always one of the heroes that is now in everybody's mind, since suddenly people are starting playing them. But that Zagara that we expected to be picked is actually banned out right now. The Leoric ban instead. So Leoric banned out. And as I said before, a Leoric ban usually hints towards a Cho'Gall, and Google was thinking about banning Cho'Gall out. Now Leoric is suddenly be banned. Why would you ban Leoric? Oftentimes, it's of course because you want to deny the siege damage to your opponent, but now since Cho'Gall is suddenly viable, Leoric is the best counterplay against Cho'Gall. So suddenly when you see something like this, Google, there's a lot of alarm bells ringing right now. They're like, okay, are they banning the heroes because they want to deny siege damage to us and want to deny wave clear so that they can do objective easier? Or are they actually banning him because they are planning to go into a Cho'Gall and are going to try and make that play right now? And as Google was already thinking about banning Cho'Gall, as we could see before, they must be in a bit of an uncomfortable spot. They decide to pick ETC as their frontliner. Again, they can now start to combo a few things off with that, but ETC plus Jaina, of course, usually equals a lot of ouch, since you get that mosh pit in, you get that power slide in alone, and then there's like bam, blizzard damage everywhere. But they still need like an auto attacker that hits pretty hard, and Falset is already gone. There comes the Diablo. So apparently this is a good combo what they have. Jaina, Diablo, ETC, very solid, good synergy. And the Sandwich Monkeys, are they going to drop that Cho'Gall, yes or no? Because if they do, Google can still go for a bit of counterplay. They didn't pick a second damage dealer just yet. So right now they have currently to think about like, okay, how do we deal with this? Do we need like an auto attacker that has Giant Killer or not? And yes, the Sandwich Monkeys, they actually do it, aren't they? They looked at the last game and they were like, boys, that's not how you play Cho'Gall. We're going to show you how you play Cho'Gall. So they are going to go for the Cho'Gall play. And Google, what is the adjustment? Are they going to go into Arena for the Giant Killer? Are they going to play something else? Like in Mubarak, of course, we've talked a lot about Cocoon. Not really an option here anymore, since we already have ETC and Diablo as the frontliners. They could have gone into rage damage first and then as the option taken on Mubarak. Another hero, Charism, that would leave them with only one damage dealer in the back. They go for a Vala, apparently, who can... Well, that forces Vala more or less in an auto attack build right now against Cho'Gall, unless you just simply say, hey, listen up, what we're going to do right now is we just play a normal style with a multi-shot build here. We ignore Cho'Gall, we don't really try to counter him, we just play our style and trust in our composition and trust that it's better. That's a question that we are actually going to see answered on the first level already. If we see Vala go into like an auto attack build, you can still play, of course, with a wave clear build. You could go into either an arrow build or you could go into a multi-shot build and then adjust on level 13. But if you go into either one of these builds and you miss out on first shot on level 13, with an arrow build it would still work, but then you don't get that AoE clear that you oftentimes want with Arsenal, with composite arrows on level 4 and level 1, if you go for one of those shrine fights. So this is going to be an absolutely incredible play. And Cho'Gall, as we said before, has such great siege damage. So for these Infernal Shrine fights, he is exceptionally strong. So guys, we're going to jump into our second game to find out if Google is going to take it, or if the Sandwich Monkeys are going to show them now how Cho'Gall is really played and make this a 2-0 victory. Game number 2, and once again we see Cho'Gall action, ladies and gentlemen. This time on the side of the Sandwich Monkeys. We are in game number 2, the round of 8 here at the winner bracket of the End of the Storm finals. And to the left side of the map it's one again. So the team Google looking for an umbrella, Stalk on Diablo, Andy Landy on TSaM, Sphyxie on ETC, Unstable on Vala, and we are seeing Stier playing Jaina. Well, that being said, to the right side of the map, this is of course where we're currently looking at as well, and we have Red X on Falstad. We are seeing for the Sandwich Monkeys, ADRD now playing Gull. We have Zarmany on Johanna, BKB on Cho, and Sport Billy on Rega. So, well, the Sandwich Monkeys, they looked at the last game, they said like, we're gonna show you how you play that. BKB ADRD. Now that was very creative. Who would have thought? Best Cho'Gall name ever. BKB ADRD. I couldn't have come up with that. Well, in this case, now, first of all, one question is already answered, and I like the choice here. We have a composite arrow taken for Vala as the level 1 talent. So there were a couple of things, of course, that we could have seen on the side of Google to adjust to Cho'Gall. I would have not minded for them to like leave the second tank open and then maybe have adjusted with, for example, an Uberak. We talked about Cocoon as a potential counter against Cho'Gall already a bit earlier. But in the setup that we're seeing here, they decided to go into Vala, which was an interesting choice since they were... Oh, they go for Cho'Gall with a burst damage here, but do they have enough? Doesn't look like it. They don't get the kill yet. So they chose Vala over the potential Reyna, over anybody else. As I said before, I really feel like Charism in this case would not have done really anything for them, since the 7-sided strike is a nice tool, but it's just not enough to really counteract Cho'Gall. It's not like a hard counter or anything. You need that follow-up damage, and they just don't have that if they play Charism plus Tacita and only have Jaina for damage. So they needed some more damage. Vala helps them a lot with those minions on the shrines, so once they're trying to go for the shrine fights, that's really when Vala is going to come into play with a level 1 talent, with a level 4 talent heading into Arsenal, and then later on 13 you can really think about what do you need. Do you go into Giant Killer and you try to rely on your auto attacks a little bit more, or do you still take Frost Shot and try to control those fights a little bit more instead? We have a lot of talents that we have to talk about, guys. There's so much to talk about right now. This is like an amazing game. A lot of stuff is happening here currently already. And you probably already spotted a couple of the level 1 talents here. We are having the Colossal Totem taken on level 1. So Rega already giving up either the Lightning Bond or the Electric Charge, just saying that he doesn't want the double Lightning Shield and he doesn't want the increased radius on it, which is interesting to see, because personally I believe that especially Lightning Bond is incredibly powerful here, since if you use it on anybody while you're fighting for the minions on one of those Infernal Shrines, you get amazing siege damage out and you get those minions so much faster. In this case though, we are probably going to see an adjustment on the later talent, trying to go into a synergy between the level 1 talent and the level 16 talent that more or less stuns a target. So I guess this is going to be adjustment that we can expect once that Rega hits level 16, but of course we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves right now. The fight is on and we are seeing 20 to 23 minions. We have a few more adjustments also on the level 1 talents. For example, we are seeing a Shove actually taken for Gull right now, a talent that we usually don't really see here, which is incredible actually. And on level 4 we're also having bombs away right now, increasing the range, so massive poke from a distance, and we've seen in the last game the siege damage that Cho'Gall can put out, and that is of course something that they're hoping for. Look how low everybody on the side of Google is at this point. Red X of course also very low, and so is Zarmany, but still the Sandwich Monkeys, they're currently taking the first Punisher, easy peasy. Once again the Blazing Bulwark taken as a level 1 talent on Cho. We're seeing also rollback once more, but Gull definitely with a few adjustments here on his own build. Punisher is moving through the bot lane. We're having now Arsenal taken, Frost Charts also, so as you can already see, Jaina with slight adjustments on her own build now as well. Red X still going into the Stormcaller as the level 4 talent, so Lightning Shield focus is still going to be strong for him, but definitely with a few adjustments here, trying to just like lock the opponent down with that Colossal Totem then later on in the game. So pretty cool start already in the game itself. We're seeing Proc taken now for ETC, trying to help Tacita out a little bit. Tacita as the solo support is still quite strong, but as we already said before, if you have a few more heroes that have their own sustain, then of course you should take good use of that, or should make good use of that, and that's exactly what he's currently trying to do. Getting the Proc using then later on level 13 groupies is going to help with the additional heal on the team, and that's going to be incredibly important. The Sandwich Monkeys are slightly ahead right now in this game, and they are going straight into not only the level 7 talent for Rega with a good cleanse, so that they can actually like work against that Diablo and ETC stun a little bit, but we also see them now again with a Double Trouble. Double Trouble just in a super cool talent to take for Cho'Gall here, especially for Cho of course, on level 7. Incredibly strong, the cooldown reduction is absolutely amazing. What Cho'Gall is attacked at the bot lane here, and we see the Fire Eater now taken as BKB ADRD is in a bit of trouble. Here comes Red X flying in now too, and they get that kill against Jaina. Stork is also very much exposed. Cho'Gall is rather low, but strong enough. And Stork is just running, trying to buy some time for his team. He's actually just trying to escape, chased by two. And Stork is really trying to just, like, dodge the tower range, and he is nearly getting away, but not quite. He's cornered eventually, and Stork is now taken out, but they really wanted that kill, you could tell. There is a bit of a rivalry going on between these two teams. We've been talking about this already before. After Google took away Stör from the Sandwich Monkeys, there was a huge problem. I mean, just imagine that you play together for like a long time, and then the Russian team picks away one of the Russian players here. The Sandwich Monkeys all of a sudden have to play the final qualifier for Katowice with like a new player that they didn't really have a lot of time to practice with. They played with Zarmini there, and that of course was definitely like a bit of a problem for them, and might have been one of the things that resulted in them not qualifying. Also, if you looked at their lineup today, you might have realized that we don't have Snow with them. Snow apparently didn't have time to play today. Red X is therefore subbing in for him, just as a bit of a side note here at this point. Now battle momentum taken for Diablo, with the next Shrine active up at the top lane. We still see a slight experience lead for the Sandwich Monkeys. They are in the lead in the series, and they want to advance to the next round, where they would meet Na'Vi in the semi-finals of the winners bracket. Na'Vi would then play there, of course. We're also seeing at this point again, Iceland's taken, comboing off with the Frost Shards as a level 7 talent. Can they get their level 10 though? That's what they're waiting for. The Sandwich Monkeys, they want 10. That's why Red X is currently still in the mid lane. They're trying to make sure that he gets the experience, that he can use that heroic ability to dominate the Shrine fight. And already Google is moving back because they realize they won't be able to make that fight happen. They split the heroes up on 3 lanes, trying to soak them as fast as they can and make up for it. But Stork is now in trouble. Locked down, Colossal Totem is doing its work already, and Stork nearly falling, but able to get away. Has to go back to base now though to heal up, and that allows them to just take that level 10 and also that Shrine up at the top. Once again, we're seeing the Shadow Bolt volley taken. We have Upheaval claimed too. And we have on the other side for Diablo the Apocalypse with the Force Wall on Tacita. Pretty standard talents. And the Rain of Vengeance taken here for Vala, going for the extra stun. Now that can be incredibly powerful if ETC gets that mosh pit off, or if they start with a nice Apocalypse and then you just like drop the Rain of Vengeance, you get those mini stuns and the damage, and then you follow it up with the Rain of Frost, with the Ring of Frost. So there's a lot of combo potential currently that we're seeing on the side of Team Google looking for an Umbrella. So the blue team definitely with the potential to turn a team fight in a single moment if they combo all of their abilities perfectly. But for that to happen, of course, they need a good setup, and this is not going to be too easy. Johanna not going for the Falling Sword, which we see a lot more often these days, but instead for the Blessed Shield. Not a big surprise considering that Moshpit has been chosen for ETC. You need a couple of interrupts, and next to the Mighty Gust, this is definitely one of the better ones that they currently have. So they're still trying to rock this. We have on level, on level 11 now in terms of damage. Johanna, 42,000 already on Siege, 41,042 now as well on Gal. Gal also leading the charts when it comes to the hero damage. 15,000 hero damage in the game already. That's twice as much as we're seeing for the highest hero damage hero on the side of the blue team, which is actually Jaina with 8,000 right now. Red X currently at the top lane doing his thing, trying to defend against it. Keep in mind, it's 2 kills against 0 right now. Mighty Gust buying a bit of time. Diablo trying to flank here, and Red X. Yeah, Diablo is a little bit too slow for that one. Red X barrel rolling away. Johanna still getting experience at the bot lane, trying to at least. But Google is starting to take over in the experience lead. Shadow Bolt volley has been used. BKB ADR. This is like such a silly name right now. I can't believe that actually happened. It looks like someone just like rolled with his head over the keyboard and came up with a random number of letters there. But yeah, it's just both of them combined. Best Cho'Gall name ever. Stör, Stork, and Sphyxie, they're actually doing very well so far. I mean, considering what they're going up against here, they just ignored Cho'Gall for a moment. I'm very curious about the level 13 talent. Is it going to be the Frost Shot, or are they really making the adjustment with the Giant Killer and try to get a couple of auto attacks on Vala in? Because I really believe that they don't necessarily have to. As long as they control these fights and have also the slow and the Frost Shot, they can really make their plays here. But of course, if they feel they don't need that slow, then having that extra damage against Cho'Gall is definitely going to work out. Giant Killer bases his damage off. Nice kill against Johanna. Giant Killer bases part of his damage off the max hit points of the opponent's hero, and that's of course one of the reasons why it's an incredibly nice tool against Cho'Gall. Yeah, mosh pit used, but there was Sport Billy as well, and Cleanse solves the situation. And now Sphyxy needs to be careful. Giant Killer, it is the adjustment. They forego Frost Shot. They're saying, all right, we just need the AoE clear of Vala, but Frost Shot on the auto attacks. Sorry, Frost Shot is not needed. Giant Killer instead for the extra damage against Cho'Gall. Let's get that in. And here comes the attack against Cho'Gall. Are they trying to lock him down? Ancestral Healing is already there. Nice move, and Cho'Gall is actually dead. Very well played. Even with that Force Wall on Tacita, the perfect opportunity, and they saw that coming, and they go immediately in and take him on. Cho'Gall is down. It's a 5 versus 3 now, and that is, of course, perfect. The only hero in the game that is controlled by 2 players is eliminated, and this puts us into a 5 versus 3, but they are still fighting. The Sandwich Monkeys, they are still on the spot, and they're starting to jump in right now. Stalk is already there, trying to go for a second kill, and they get it. Rhaegar is dead. 33 against 15 minions. Zarmony is also low. Sphyxy has to be careful though and is moving away now as he realizes that Falstad can actually take him down if he dives too far. That is the Punisher after all. 13 versus 13 in talents. Dread Shield now taken. And well, with Dread Shield now taken, we are also having the Giant Killer. We are once again seeing for Cho, the runic feedback here. So the cooldown also reduced. Tidal Waves. And so like a bit of a crazy mix here in the talents that we see for Rhaegar, but it all makes perfect sense. Like the 16 talent is going to be the totem, and then of course he can combo it off with a level 1 on level 13. This one surprises me a little bit, to be honest. Like, Tidal Waves is one of the talents that I find personally very surprising. I don't really think that this is a good choice. I actually think this is a massive mistake that they made right now. Because on 13, what you get is, like, you get a shield on 50% of the max HP of the hero that you target, and that is perfect for Cho'Gall. Nice! The Cho'Gall goes in with a kill against Styr, and they get unstable as well. Double kill. They goes for Sphyxy. And can they take ETC down? Sport Billy waits for his cooldown on the totem. There it is. And maybe with Cho'Gall they can make him another play. They're trying to lock them down, but they can't. But yeah, coming back to my original point, like the level 13 talent is definitely like a mistake. Like this should not be Tidal Waves. The problem with this is that Cho'Gall, of course, is 2 heroes combined in one. That means that you have only 1 target. So if you use the Tidal Waves, the cooldown reduction is not going to be as good as it would be if you have 5 members of your team there. In big team fights in particular. So first of all, the talent is not as strong as it could be with 5 heroes in the team. And second of all, having that shield on Cho'Gall is making him nearly unkillable. And you have already like 2 heroes that could benefit from that shield with BKB, ADRD on Cho'Gall and with Zarmony on Johanna. So that Tidal Waves is, in my opinion, definitely a bit of a mistake here. Usually, I love the talent, and I really think that's a great choice to go for it, since Tidal Waves, the reduction on the cooldown, can really help you to get out the healing numbers on Rhaegar. But in this case in particular, especially, of course, with the attempted focus every now and then on Cho'Gall or on Zarmony, it would have made sense to go into the adjustment. And now we have an adjustment with the Rising Storm. Now, now I have to question that build really a little bit. There's not really too much synergy. If you go in the Rising Storm as well, it's another reason to go for the level 13 talent here. Also, Colossal Totem alone taken. I really thought that it would be like the adjustment with 16 and level 1. That's what we've seen so far every time. Diablo down, and Upheaval against 3! Nice Force Wall! Wow, that Force Wall was actually perfect. Like, that was the mother Force Wall right there. Andy Lendy with a perfect Force Wall, making sure that the Upheaval does not get the max value out of that. Great play on his part. 16 talents now for both of them. But yeah, bit surprising. Stormcaller, of course, together with Rising Storm, very, very strong. One of the reasons why we have what we had actually like before the nerfs to Lightning Shield. Everybody saying that Rhaegar is horribly overpowered and he got all that damage out against hero was at level 16 talent. Now it's taken as well, but that Colossal Totem, it's interesting. If you really need that in this case, I guess it can help, but I feel like with Cho'Gall on this map in particular, having the Lightning Bond would have been pretty cool as well. All in all, Rhaegar with definitely a lot of adjustments here. Sport Billy playing his own style, and so far it's working out kind of for them, but they're still slightly behind. Besides that, of course, we have a lot more talents as well. The continuous Overpower has now been used for Diablo. Not really a talent that you see every day. Overpower can store 2 charges, which is of course pretty cool for him. And at the same time now we have also the Giant Scorcher taken already. And we are seeing at the same time now the Twilight Veil. So once again, like a lot of damage reduction overall here on the setups here on level 16. A lot of the additional damage here to having the Giant Scorcher here with the Shadow Flame. That is really cool, especially the poke against Diablo is going to be great now for them. And that's what they're trying to do here. Kill again against Vala. She's out. There's the slow Upheaval taken against Stalk. He's dead, and they're trying to go for Sphinxie. Shadow Bolt volley used a bit late, but still they will dominate that fight up here. 31 of the minions were already taken by the opponent, but they get now the easy Punisher up the top. And the numbers here, of course, they speak for themselves. 52,000 hero damage on Gall. Nobody else is even close. That is twice the damage that heroes like Jaina or, for example, Diablo are able to bring to the table. Having 82,000 siege damage. Once more, Cho'Gall just absolute dominant in that regard. And at the same time, to the left, we're seeing 27,000 on Vala. She's, of course, benefiting from that giant killer now with the auto attacks. If she can get close enough, that's always the big question here. Can she survive getting close enough to Cho'Gall to get those damage in? They need their Swambo combo potential. They need those stuns, the mosh pit going straight into, of course, then also the Ring of Frost and using Vala as well with her Rain of Vengeance, but right now they are starting to struggle a little bit. Still a very close game here with 7 kills against 4 though, but the first keep is now about to be attacked, and we have Upheaval not hitting anything, but once again the Shadow Bolt volley against Andy Lendy, very low. Nice save on Cho'Gall, using immediately the Ancestral Healing and also the Mighty Gust by Falstad, making sure that they can't jump in. That's of course always the danger, that you see a hero like Cho'Gall burst it down and then you are suddenly in a 5 versus 3 position. Cho'Gall moving away, the keep still alive by the way. Punisher defended against, well played thus far. Sport Billy and his boys now moving back once again. Cho'Gall still with the pokes, using the rune bombs here. Shadow Flame used to, Zarmony is low, very low, is trying to escape, gets healed once. Can they heal him again? Sport Billy should have the cooldown ready in a moment, but Zarmony is so low. And here comes the last moment heal. Well played. Saving Zarmony, moving back for now. Pretty solid game here overall. And once again, Stork trying to go through the fort. Mid lane, by the way, still even more pressure. Red X didn't even bother to stay up at the top. He went into the mid lane, defending, trying to get also some experience for his team. The earlier level 20 talent could really make the difference in this setup now. At the bot lane, the fort is also still alive. 2 of the forts are still on the map for the team in red. So, Sandwich Monkeys, if they are able to really get this now, if they are able to now once again claim victory on this map, then they would advance to the next round to meet Na'Vi there. But of course the big problem is still that Google just needs one good fight. 1 kill against Cho'Gall to turn that around, and those Punishers, they scale over time and they are strong. They're really hitting hard at this point. Once again, 19 versus 19, the level 20 talent, only half a level away. And looking at those talents here, with level 20, of course, we are going to have especially we have a lot of mobility as well. I mean, the survivability of Johanna in particular going for Indestructible would be absolutely amazing. On Rhaegar, you can either go for the Storm Shield, or in this case, it would probably be much better for him to go straight into the rethinking. That's the problem if you suddenly don't know what the talent is called anymore, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, he can definitely go into Rewind and then start to hit those talents once again. That's probably what we're going to see here. First of all, Shadow Fury has been taken. We are also seeing now the Favor of the Old Gods, which is absolutely amazing for survivability. BKB taking him down is going to be such a pain. Rewind, as already said, is taken on Rhaegar. And we're having now the Epic Mount taken for Falstad. But both of them are suddenly on level 20. And that means triple Bolt of the Storm plus Lord of Terror and Storm Shield as the talents. So this is going to be the big fight. But that Upheaval, that talent on 20, the Favor of the Old Gods, is an amazing talent. And this is going to be so great for him for survivability here as well. Once you can suck them in, you can really start to dish out the damage without having to fear for your life anymore. And he's going to wait for a good opportunity to get a decent Upheaval through. And then we're going to see the full power of the Shadow Fury hitting as well. Already with the Rune Bombs, dishing out the damage here. Starting to just poke in every now and then. Oh, they try to go for Tassadar. Nearly the kill here. Not quite though. Andy Lendy is still there, but he needs to be super careful. Andy Lendy once again, Prescience coming into play. Dimensional Warp 2, Upheaval used. They get one. They go for Sphinxie. Apocalypse is being used. The Shadow Ball takes down Tassadar, and they go for ETC now. Oh my god, Stier with that last moment bolt away, saving his own life. But this Punisher is ending up in the hands of the Sandwich Monkeys once again. Yes, they're gonna get it. Frozen Punisher starting to make its way through the middle. We have Cho'Gall already starting to move in with a Shadow Flame, trying to dish out the damage, looking strong for them. 8 kills against 4. Once again, damage output here. Cho'Gall right now, 88,000 hero damage. Absolutely insane what he can dish out now, especially, of course, with that Storm talent. They move through that fort like it's nothing and go straight for that keep in the mid lane. 20 seconds, 26 until we have Tassadar back to business. And that's, of course, another big problem here right now for Google. They are already down 1 game in this best of 3 series. They can't lose here. They have to fight back somehow. Most of their heroics are up. Apocalypse is the only one that isn't. They need a wombo combo and they need a good one, but Stark is low. He has to get health back. And they need Tassadar for all of this as well. They're trying to get those heroes back so that they can start, but the keep is already about to fall. The keep is taken out. Maybe now Sphyxy can move in. He's slowed down by the frost, by the ice on the ground. No chance for him to get anything done here. And with level 21, with 8 kills versus 4 on the first keep, the second keep actually eliminated in this game, they are moving back for now. The keep at the top eliminated, the keep at the bottom eliminated as well. They could go for a fight again. They have all the heroics up right now, so that's an opportunity for maybe BKB uses upheaval once more, but they are just letting them go, let them take the camp. They don't want to fight here. The corridor is too small, and with Apocalypse ready once again, you just don't want to risk it. If an Apocalypse hits during a team fight in that area, then you are doomed, and they know it. So once again, they're just like waiting a little bit, biding their time. They know that there's a huge wave moving up at the top towards their opponent, and that's of course a big problem now for Google. They have to move somebody back, and that is Stier in this case. He starts to move back straight with the Blizzard, trying to make sure that this is not going to target the core down. And at the same time, the camps on the map are taken again. But right now, the Sandwich Monkeys are on the move. They're trying to go for it. They're trying to really force that battle right now. BKB has to be careful with this positioning, but they have a very, very aggressive stance here overall. They have Johanna always in the opponent's face. They have BKB there as well. Johanna, of course, also a great addition to Cho'Gall. She can really just like distract a little bit from Cho'Gall when he's starting to get focused. Can use that Condemn, can use that Shield Glare as well to make it more difficult for heroes with good auto attacks to take him down. But once more, camps are taken, they go for the next one, and BKB is just playing this super solid right now. Together with the ADRD, they are playing like as a really nice team here. And they're already starting to go straight for that next temple that has been announced right now. This is going to be the big one. The keep at the top lane has been defeated already earlier. It has been destroyed, and therefore, if now the Sandwich Monkeys are able to claim it, then they are looking at a potential finish, at a potential 2-0 in this series. And that's, of course, all that they need. Siege damage, 133,000 on Gall, 123,000 on Johanna, 125,000 on Jaina. 22 minutes in already, so a pretty decent game at this point, and we are starting to go for the potentially last shrine of that match. Up to the top, a slight lead already for the team in blue. We're having Google looking for an umbrella, taking the first few minions. Once again, rewind, everything is up. Everything, all of the heroic abilities are up, all the heroics, all of those ultimates. Once again, Diablo is the one who tries to use all of his pressure with AoE on the shrine to get the lead. And they have 18 already. But here comes that upheaval again. A triple. They get a triple in the Shadow Bolt volley. Is about to take down Stork. Stork is nearly down, but he gets shielded. He's trying to survive long enough, not using the Apocalypse. There it is. Use the Apocalypse. Get shielded. Apocalypse only zoning, not really doing any damage. Diablo is dead for the entire duration. He did not have enough souls. He's down for 60 more seconds. Unstable is being attacked now as well. Oh, the great turnaround against Red X. Great move by Vala. Really well done here. Rain of Vengeance in the face, and the birds gets plucked. Zarmany and Sportbilly, they're starting to move to the top. BKB as well. They're saying, hey, guys, don't chase. Just go for that shrine. Take the Punisher and end the game. They have to make up for that, but it's still a 4 versus 4. And of course, Google, they have to move in right now. They need to go to the top, and they need to make it happen now. They already rush in. Stier, he can't waste too much time. He needs to take the catapults down, of course. He knows that too, but they have to fight, and they have to fight now. Andy Landy and Sphyxy trying to buy some time up at the top lane. BKB is on the shrine together with Zarmany, ADRD, and Sportbilly. Here come the rest of Team Google. The Blues are in, and Sphyxy is already low. Shadow Bolt volley is up again. They go straight for Tassadar. Here comes that upheaval once more. Not hitting anyone though, and once again, just one multi-shot after another, but Unstable is now being chased down. Zarmany is on his heels. Sphyxy trying to zone Unstable, bolting out of it. of it. Sphyxy down, was trying to go for some kind of damage output there. BKB nearly dead. Icebox saving Jaina for a moment, but Jaina is eliminated. Andy Landy is about to fall now too. Here comes once again the totem. The death of Tacita is sealing the deal. This is going to be the Punisher in the hands of the Sandwich Monkeys. The GG call as Diablo realizes that this is game over. Now the team moving in. The Mortar Punisher on the way too. All of the lanes have been destroyed except for the bot lane. And this is, of course, for the Sandwich Monkeys, absolutely perfect. Google, they stole one of their players away, and they, because of it, were not able to qualify for Katowice, but now they get their revenge here today at the end of the Storm Finals. They are currently about to move on to the semifinals to face Na'Vi, and Google, they would drop down to the losers bracket. Here comes the last move up. Hebel again, goodbye Vala. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. GG, well played, the last apocalypse, but that's all that Diablo can deliver here. The core is down, and this is the 2-0 victory for the Sandwich Monkeys against Google looking for Umbrella. Great play, well done here, and a great Cho'Gall victory here. Congratulations. And that is it, everybody. GG and well played. The game's over, and therefore also the video for today here on Khaldor TV. We had another great Heroes of the Storm match, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Also hope that you enjoyed the commentary, of course. So thank you very much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to Khaldor TV yet, you should definitely hit that sub button as well. If you have some friends that like Heroes of the Storm, then definitely make sure that you show them the channel and also the video. There's a lot more where that came from. We're going to have like continuous content throughout the next few weeks with more Heroes of the Storm matches played, not only on the European server, but also on the North American server, in tournaments, in leagues, and more than that. So guys, once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope that you had some fun. It was a pleasure casting for you. And I'm going to see you next time with even more videos here on the channel. So have a great day and see you soon. Bye-bye.